I'm ready for gym. I'm straight after. I'm going into my gym clothes. I'm gonna work out.
Exercise. That's
With
good.
my trainer. Yeah. No,
Nice, nice. Well, welcome to Zooming with. This is Cristina Lorefice here, and I'm with William Whitecloud today. Thank you, William, for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining this beautiful circle of messengers that are joining me with inspirational collective messages for the world. Thank you.
Beautiful. Hello,
Yeah.
messengers.
What's that?
I said hello, messengers.
Hello, messengers. Yes, and William Whitecloud, you are the founder and the chairman of Natural Success and the author of several books, The Secrets of Natural Success, and The Last Shaman, right? And The Magician's Way.
Magician's Way, The Last Shaman, and The Secrets of Natural Success. In that order.
Right, okay, you said it much better than I did.
I'm the author.
I was waiting to be rescued. I'm like, oh, I forgot the names.
No, you did well. I'm just saying that's the order I write them in as a matter of interest.
Well, first of all, we have 15 minutes together. Starting now. You turned your life around and you went from losing money, losing your marriage, apparently also having some addiction issues and some threatening illnesses. So how did you turn your life around?
Well, I think, like my very most fundamental problem was I had a very big intellectual inferiority, complex challenge, an intellectual challenge, because I grew up with a father who is a great man, and I loved him in every way, but also he had a devastating effect on me because he shamed me intellectually, and really crushed my, intellectual confidence and made me feel very stupid. So, I just felt useless in life. And also I finished school as a high school dropout, and, I didn't have any qualifications or education really, you see. And so that I think that was the foundation, of this belief of like no substance to myself, which then led to, problems in every area of my life. Which culminated me in me being in a very bad situation, and on my deathbed, really, more than once actually.
Wow.
But 15 minutes is not long, so I can't take time. But I did have an experience out of that in the end when I was in my darkest hour. I was led to recovery by an experience that gave me an insight that my focus creates my reality. I'd not done any personal development work or read any books like that or anything. So it was a spontaneous conclusion that my focus creates my reality, because just without, if you read The Secrets of Natural Success, you'll read the story. It's in there. So, but what I realized, just in short, was that for 10 years, I've been putting all my energy and focusing in getting well, and in fact, in not being sick, and I just got sicker and sicker and sicker. And then in the end, through this experience, which you can read about in Secrets of Natural Success, is I gave up on that, and stopped focusing on, trying to get better. And in fact, stopped focusing on trying not to be sick and trying not to die, and I suddenly got better, right? Without any medical explanation or anything. And I just went, it was an inevitable conclusion that dawned on me, that there must be some way in which I pay attention that affects my reality. And it was such a powerful thing that it brought me back from my deathbed, which is a very sad state to be in, I can assure you, if you're ever in that place. So it was a very profound effect on me. And I don't know, for the last 25 years, I've been obsessed with understanding from then, you know, is because I didn't know how it works. I went, I'm going to find out. And, you know, I mean, the intention to find out how my focus creates my reality led me on a journey, and in which I attracted the teachers and the experiences and, you know, just everything I needed to learn about how my focus creates your reality, or my reality, your reality. And I have become an expert on it. And now, you know, I write books about it, and I teach about it. And it's quite fascinating, because it is true. It's how your focus creates your reality. So that I used to be an empty shell, and, you know, intellectually challenged and all of that, and uneducated, and that was my focus. And then I learned how to change my focus. And, you know, when I wrote my first book, I was still, and I still am, uneducated, and I still am a high school dropout, and I still am, you know, I don't read, right? So if I read 3 books in a year, that's a very good year for literature.
Love it.
And no, I don't read, right? It's important. I can't read. People give me like great books to read, and then I just start reading. I can't read them. So in spite of that, you know, it came from me. I wanted to pass on some information, and I sat down and I used what I learned about creating and how your focus creates your reality. And I wrote The Magician's Way, and that became an international bestseller. In fact, it went to #1 on Amazon overall, you know, not just in some category or something. Like when people say they got a #1 Amazon, they mean in some weird category that when you look at it, it's really at number 800,000 or something, you know. No, we're talking #1, right? And, you know, that's a real testament to the fact that, you know, the genius is in us, the magic is in us, and if we know how to tap into it, you know. And that's the path I've been on ever since I realized your focus creates your reality.
I love that. I love what you say. So when you created this, The Magician Way became #1 best-selling book on Amazon. I'm curious, was the focus behind it, the intention behind it, or did you just like manifest it without that intention? It just happened. How was that for you?
No, I didn't write it to be a bestseller. And in fact, I didn't write it for people to read, you know, for the public. I wrote it because I was teaching, you know, this work in these courses, and I'd give them books to read. It's funny because I'd give them books to read, which you know, I'm not a reader, so, but I'd give them these books to read, and nobody would read them, you know. And I'd say, why don't you read them? Even if it's painful, for 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, read them, because the information's so good. Nobody would read them. So I went, well, you know, I better write something that's really interesting, you know. You know, I'll try, you know, and so I wrote it for that reason. And I also didn't write it because The Magician's Way is a story, and I also didn't sit down to write a story. I mean, I sat down to write a you know, non-fiction how-to self-help kind of book. But my intention was that it would powerfully convey the principles, the message, you know, because you've got messengers here. So my intention was that it would convey the message, that it would be, you know, because people weren't reading what I was giving them to read. So my intention was that it would be interesting, that it would be readable, you know, emotionally engaging, you know. So I did have end results, and those were the end results. And so then when I started writing, the book turned into a story straight away. And, you know, my genius wasn't like being clever at writing or anything. My genius was just following how it went, right? And it turned into a story like in the first few pages. And I just recognized this is a story. And I just didn't know how to write a story, but I just went with it. And that's what it turned into. And then I took it to an editor and just to get cleaned up. But this person was a very serious editor. They had been the manuscript assessor at a very big publishing house, right? Yeah. And they were it's kind of acquaintance of mine. So I just gave it to them, paid them to tidy it up. And they're very not into personal development, right? So they're actually anti-personal development. They think personal development's a bullshit. I still like that today. So they're a very straight kind of person.
Yeah.
This person read it and called me and said, you know what, this can be a serious book. And I said, really? And I said, yeah. So anyway, she cleaned up all the spelling and the grammar, and there it is.
There's the bestseller.
Bestseller, made me millions of dollars.
Woo! Let's celebrate! Yay!
And it's a message, and it's a great message. Everyone wins, you know.
Hey,
It fed my family for 10 years, and it helped a lot of people.
William, let's celebrate my way. Let's do it like this. Mozzarella, mozzarella, cheese. Can you do that?
Mozzarella, cheese. I like that, yeah. I'm going to celebrate everything like that from now.
It's funny, I do that. I teach conscious laughter. I do conscious laughter workshops and therapy.
Beautiful.
And that's how I celebrate. That's my little mantra, my little Italian mantra.
Where are you from in Italy? Where are you?
I'm from Naples.
I love Napoli.
So have you been to Napoli?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, love it. Love it.
Oh,
my favorite place in Italy, really. I love how
raw.
It's a raw place. You know?
It is beautiful. And, you know, I'm so delighted right now because my father used to tell me when I was little that, you know, you cannot swim in the sea there because it's polluted and everything. And I got a message from my friend, a video message actually, and she sent me this beautiful sea with the dolphins coming now. And I'm like, there's dolphins back in the Bay of Naples.
No, it's a beautiful part of the world with the Amalfi, and, you know, it's fabulous. Love it.
Yeah.
We love Italy. We love Italy and we love Italians.
Oh, wow. And you, of course, you've had the real pizza in Naples, right?
Absolutely.
We're not talking about pizzas right now, though. We could. Well, I'm glad that you know that part of the world where I come from.
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it.
Beautiful. So you were talking about unleashing the genius and mastering this human journey. What is required to unleash this genius within us? In a few words, if you can.
Well, you see, the thing is, I'll tell you very quickly, is the issue with the human journey, with the human journey, is every human being is born into a wrong track in life. You're born on the wrong track of life, you know. And look, every culture and civilization knows that. If you know, every culture and civilization has this hero myth, the hero journey myth, you know, which is a return to your spiritual nature, who you really are. And every culture and civilization in history, except ours maybe now, right now, recognizes that you're born into a wrong idea about who you are and about life, and you must find your way back, you know. And really, who you are is a genius, you know. Is your creative spirit connected to everything through all time and space, and thereby have a natural ability that is phenomenally all powerful, all phenomenally powerful and creatively powerful and unlimited, really. But you see, to be here, you have to create an individual sense of existence. And this is, you know, this is not mystic hooey or anything. This is scientific. When you're born, you don't know that you're not everything. You don't know that you're not your mother, for instance. You don't know that you're not the environment around you. You don't know that, you know, because you just have a limbic brain. Your neocortex isn't developed yet, and so there you are. You're just a soup. You're a sea of soup. really, you know, and you've got to form an individual sense of existence, in, you know, an identity, a sense of I am that's separate from everything else. And you create that. It's a miracle, because you like a little baby. You even in the womb, you might be that big, and you're already creating it. And you create this identity that's based on that you're separate from everything. It's an illusion that you're separate. And that separation goes, well, I'm not safe. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't have the capability to some degree or other. You create beliefs of limitation that separate you, you know, and that's great. Now you've got an individual sense of existence. But the problem is now you've got an illusion of limitation, serious illusion, damaging illusion of things. And you know, you need to learn how to forget about that, right? And realize that you're not that, and realize who you are, you know, and find yourself, and find that super conscious self that you really are, and be able to tap into it, you know, which is what I did when I wrote the Magician's Way. Intellectually, emotionally, egoically, as an identity. When I wrote The Magician's Way, I still felt like a piece of shit. I still felt like I was an illiterate idiot, you know, and shameful human being. And that's my illusion, and I understood that. But I also understood that I have a genius part of me that if I tap into that side of me will help me write, you know. So I'm not gonna rely on the idiot piece of shit that I am. You know, I'm going to rely on the genius piece of magnificence that I am. And so that's what I did. And that's, you know, then that's the human journey is to make that reconnection, you know, because it's not a connection. You always are that, but you've got to reconnect with that and use that. And mainly, you know, that's a function of intuitive development, you know, is starting to discern that you're subject to two modes of awareness. You have perception, which is your egoic, rational, you know, like self-conscious mode of awareness, which is essentially expressing your sense of limitation to you, you know, and then you have intuition, which is you know, a mode of awareness which connects you to everything through time and space, right? And it's the real mastery. I mean, there's lots to it, and I really, you know, recommend that people read my books. And, you know, most conveniently, The Secrets of Natural Success encapsulates the whole model and, you know, processes in that. And, you know, so there's more to it than just the awareness, because then you have to apply the awareness, right? But I mean, the awareness is the fuel. It's like if you have a motor vehicle, you've got to put fuel in it to make it go. And high level awareness is the fuel of high level, you know, creative ability and function, right?
Yeah. Totally important. No, what you're saying is so important to know that, okay, I've got this side of me that is the side that's feeling shamed or unworthy and incapable. And then, like you say, the other side is the genius. And we want to give power to the genius and not the shitty side. Throw it away. Yeah. Beautiful.
And that's it. Right.
Hey,
it's been finished.
William, mozzarella, cheese.
Very good. Lovely to spend this little bit of time with you, talking about this stuff. Now I've got to go and sweat it out with my trainer.
Yes, beautiful words. Thank you so much, William. And you are to be found on www.
Well, my website, actually, if you just Google William Whitecloud, you'll get to me. But my actual website is naturalsuccessacademy.com. Naturalsuccessacademy.com. But you know, all roads lead to William Whitecloud, right? So,
I think I need some advice from you on how to write a bestseller, William.
well, if you go to my website soon, I have a writing course, so you can do my super conscious writing course.
Okay. Hey, William, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me. Really appreciate it. Very nice.
Thank you, William.
And maybe I'll see you in Amalfi one day, right?
Mozzarella. Amalfi.
We'll have a few limoncellos, right?
Oh my God, I make the best limoncello.
Oh, stop it. Bring a bottle of limoncello. All right, anyway, I've got to fly, hey? My coach is waiting for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So,
bye.
Don't want to keep her waiting, I tell you.
Bye. I'll stop recording.
Okay, lots of love to everybody, all the messengers.
Thank you, William. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and see you again with some more Zooming with